Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Right now, as it sits, Moriarty has not won a district contest. They're 7-15 overall. The Hilltoppers 8-13 overall, and the Hilltoppers are 2-2 after losing that heartbreaker to Espanola last week. So, Mike, this is we talked about this a little earlier. This is a must-win for the Hilltoppers. I mean, they have to hold serve here tonight if they have any chance. Think they have any chance at all for the post-game playoffs.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Gene. it is Toppers really after the loss the other night to Milwaukee Valley really have no room for error anymore. Interestingly, Gene, the way the district standings are just set up, Espanola Valley and Taos, both 3-1. The Sun Devils lost to Taos, and the Tigers lost to Los Alamos. And it tied for third place right now, Los Alamos and Milwaukee Valley. Milwaukee obviously has a win over Los Alamos. So, but Espanola Valley and Taos, they will be tough to catch for the Toppers if they cannot hang on today. And it's going to be interesting. The Toppers are going to be without Rick Valdez tonight. Rick actually is appears to be on crutches tonight, as a matter of fact. So they are going to have to. He is a big presence for them down low. They're going to have to figure out a way to do that. You remember he went down the other night against Milwaukee. They were checking out his leg. Obviously, it is not improved enough for him to play tonight. But he is a big presence underneath. So the Toppers going to have to find a way really to get that muscle, get that toughness out this evening without Rick.
Yeah, and Rick is the only senior on the team, by the way. The Hilltoppers are a very, very young team. They have one senior, two juniors, 8 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. So they're very, very young. They graduated 9 seniors off of the team last year. And so right now we're ready for the national anthem here at Griffith Gymnasium. Well, we're going to complete the national anthem here and recording again tonight. But anyway, we had a band here on Tuesday night for the Milwaukee game, and they occupied every single seat of that particular section. It was awesome to see the band. We haven't seen the band in a long, long time. And right now, Maury Pongratz is getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for each of these teams. And my good buddy Mike Mays is going to fill us in on that.
Absolutely, Jane. The Moriarty of Pintos being introduced right now. They are coached by Marcus Ortiz. Have a record of 7 wins, 15 losses, winless in district so far. And they threw me a curve, Gene. They are introducing everybody tonight. So I need to go back and recheck everything. I'm sorry about that. They don't generally do that. They only generally announce the starters. So I assumed that's what they were doing. Well, that's not what they're doing. So I'm sorry. We'll get back to that in a second. But for the Toppers, we can tell you who's starting there. That's going to be Nico Garcia, a 6-foot senior, 6-foot junior, excuse me. They're going to start Ethan Mondragon. He is a sophomore. Kyle Evanhus will get the start tonight.
And Ben McBride.
Ben McBride will start down low for the Hilltoppers in place of Rick Valdez and Josiah Frescas, a 5'6" sophomore.
Mercy rule, so they've decided they have an extra 10 seconds.
That very well could be. So
we got 10, 12, 20, 31, and 3.
So that's Jeremy Padilla, a 6'2" senior. Herman Archibek is a 5'9" senior, will get the start. Matthew Romero, a 6' senior. Jakeem Graham, a 6'4" junior. He will jump it up. And also starting tonight, who did I miss? Jordan Brown, a 5'10" sophomore for the Pintos. Pintos winless in district play. Nice quick jump shot by the Pintos, but that will not fall. So actually a pretty good jump shot, Gene.
Yeah, it really was. It was nice looking as they won the tip, and now they get it to Kyle Evan, who's over to Josiah Gutierrez. Gutierrez is Josiah Frescas. I'm sorry, Frescas. Ben McBride puts the shot up. The rebound is going to come down in a hurry. They come, and I mean in a hurry, and that is Herman Archibek. Archibek now will bring it over to Jordan Brown. Brown into the free throw circle. His pass is picked off by Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon is going to go down and miss an easy layup.
Oh, boy.
Wide open, easy layup. The worst kind. Coming down on the other end and putting the shot up right off the bat, wasting absolutely no time that time. It's Herman Archibek. Ball's on the floor. There's a scramble for it. Hilltoppers win the scramble. They get it over to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon tries to pass it over to Nico Garcia, knocked out of bounds by Jordan Brown of the Pintos. Hilltoppers will inbound it right in front of the Pinto bench, and they'll bring it into Josiah. Skip pass is going to come across to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon back to Josiah. 3-point shot by Josiah. This is off. The Hilltoppers against Powaki the other night, they bombed away at the 3, and they only made 2. 2, period.
Yeah, that is the Toppers better improve on that. We've already blown a couple of wide open shots, Gene. As we said, this is a must-win game. The Toppers can't afford to leave points on the table right now.
No, they really can't. Kyle Evan, who's almost with the steal off of Herman Archibek. Archibek takes it to the hole, and he'll go to the free throw line, and Mondragon will pick up the personal. So Ethan tried to make the steal. He couldn't, and so the foul occurring on the floor, and so they inbound it to a wide open Joaquin Graham, and he blows an easy layup. Joaquin is 6'4" junior. So they get it now to Archibek. Herman and they have a little pick and roll and a little pick and roll to Joaquin. And Joaquin puts it in for 2. And so Milwaukee takes the lead 2-0 here over the Hilltoppers. Comes to Nico Garcia. Now out to Josiah. Josiah holding the ball, goes down in the corner to Kyle Evans, who's bring it out on top to Josiah. Josiah now just standing near the half-court circle, brings it to Nico Garcia down low. Nico's pass to Mondragon overthrown.
I thought that was deflected. It kind of took a weird right turn there as he was trying to get it in the corner, but the officials do not agree. 2-0 in favor of Moriarty. And Gene, one aspect of the Pintos that we didn't discuss. Pintos right now have nothing to lose.
No, nothing at all. And so Josiah Frescas, I don't know about that one, but he kind of took a step and a half to more than he needed to go to the basket, but he no call on the travel, so they bring it now over to Jordan Brown. Brown pulls up top of the key, going to bring it over to Jeremy Padilla, and once again that little pick and roll. They get it into Joaquin, and again Graham misses another easy layup. So they've been that's 3 times now they've run that, and Joaquin has missed both of them.
Well, nice.
2 out of 3.
Nice defense there by Ben McBride. Had him actually made Graham change his shot a little bit. Graham wanted to go to the basket, but McBride actually kind of made him veer off a little bit to the right, and that may have cost him the bucket. And where are our ball people? That one rolled into the locker room. No sideline ball people like soccer. We need those. That happened the other night too.
Yeah, no. And somebody and one of the players disappears, and so wide open under the basket off a pass from Joaquin Graham, and Jeremy Padilla puts it in for 2. And so right now it's a 4-2 ball game. Full court press by Moriarty. They get it up to Ethan Mondragon, and we're going to have a foul go to Jakeem, I guess it is, Jakeem Graham. So Jakeem picks up the personal. That's going to be his first team foul.
Turnover quickly, and back the other way are the Pintos. Lazy pass by Los Alamos gets picked off. Pintos with another layup opportunity, but cannot convert. Gene, Topper's been very fortunate. The Pintos are off right now. The Pintos have blown 3-4 easy shots.
And Ethan Mondragon just picked up the personal foul, so that's his second. So he will check out of the ball game. That's a second team foul. 3-point shot from the left corner, deep left corner, Jordan Brown. And so he dropped it in, and that makes it now a 7-2 ball game. Powahki up by 5 on Los Alamos. They bring it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas to Eddie Gartz in the corner. Gartz's shot is off. Rebound comes down in the corner. Long rebound comes over to Nico Garcia. He dribbles out to the top of the key, gets it to Josiah. Josiah standing out near the coffin corner of half court, going to bring it down into the corner. Comes out to Josiah. He's wide open from 3. This one rolls around and comes off. Jakeem Graham pulls it down, and he's going to hand it up to Herman Archibek. Archibek at the top of the key is going to bounce it over to Jordan Brown. Brown is going to start to take it to the hole, but loses the handle. He had a good he had a pretty good run to the basket. And he looked like he was going to be open, but he just lost the handle.
Yeah, he had a lane straight to the bucket. Just had trouble dribbling the ball. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Didn't look like any of the Toppers got involved there. He just kind of lost the handle on it. But but Moriarty cleans up some of these mistakes, Gene. The Toppers could have a problem.
Yeah, they really could. Nico Garcia is coming down the baseline, dishes it off. His pass is picked off. Long pass down the floor, picked off by Eddie Gartz. Gartz now turns around, hands it over to Josiah, to Nico Garcia in the corner. Comes to Eddie Gartz just to the left wing, and we're going to have a deliberate kick of the ball by Jeremy Padilla of the Pintos. Hilltopper will inbound it right in front of the Pinto bench. Eddie Gartz will take the ball from the official. Having a lot of trouble getting it in. Finally does get it in to Josiah. Frescas now pulling the ball high above his head. And over to Eddie Gartz. Gartz down the baseline, gets it to Ben McBride. Nice little, as he came down the baseline, scooped it underneath to Ben McBride. And McBride puts it in for 2. And that makes it a 7-4 ball game. Hilltoppers down by 3. Comes over now to Cade Griego, who has just checked in for Marcus Ortiz. And he's going to get it to Herman Archibek. Archibek with a little, about a 14-footer is off. Rebound comes down to the Pintos. They flip it over to Cade Griego, and Griego puts it in for 2. That makes it a 9-4 ball game. 5-point lead for the Pintos at this point. Josiah Frescas goes to Eddie Gartz. Nice move down the lane by Eddie. That one is off. Rebound comes down to the Pintos. They get it up to Herman Archibek. Archibek's going to bounce it down low. And all kinds of traffic that time was Ben Dick. And he was lucky to get rid of it. And so a shot taken by Herman Archibek is off. Hilltoppers with the rebound. Ben McBride over to Eddie Gartz. 3-point shot. Rims around and comes off. Nico Garcia with the rebound. He's going to bring it out to Josiah. Right back to Nico. 3-point shot from the corner. That's good. That makes it a 9-7 ball game. Hilltoppers down by 2, and we only have 1 minute remaining in this quarter. I'm telling you, this 8-minute quarter took about 4 minutes. Anyway, right now is going to bring it out to just to bring it now over to Jeremy Padilla. Padilla will get it to Herman Archibek. Archibek, and the ball is going to be knocked away by Josiah Frescus and out of bounds right in front of the Hilltopper bench. They will inbound it. Matt Romero will bring it in, and he gets it in now to Herman Archibek. Archibek now directing traffic, and nice move down the lane. Wow. And once again, missing an easy layup that time. I can't believe that was Jeremy Padilla. Wow, and he just made a fantastic move, laid it up over the front of the rim, and it just bounced around and came out. We have a held ball, and that alternating possession will go to Los Alamos with 20 seconds to go. In the quarter, comes over to Nico Garcia, three-point shot on the way again. This one hits the support wire up above. I don't know how many times we've seen that the last couple of weeks.
I wonder if that's not sagging or something. We didn't see any of that early in the season, and we're seeing that every single game now.
Yeah, we really are. Herman Archibek, three-point shot. No, give that to Jeremy Padilla, a 6'2" senior, and he cans a three. And so that brings the first quarter to an end as the Hilltoppers find themselves down by 5, 12-7 to the Fighting Pintos. So, Mike, as you say, as the Pintos have been hitting some of those easy shots, this could be a much wider margin right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Pintos have, boy, they are getting almost free runs to the basket right now from the top of the key. And Los Alamos very fortunate that the Pintos are not converting right now. They blew, probably half a dozen wide open shots in that first quarter. I mean, this could be a 10, 12 point spread right now. Just if Moriarty had converted kind of their really the shots that they should have converted, I mean, they could be up by a fair amount right now. As it is, Los Alamos Los Alamos came out ice cold in this ball game. Finally, Nico Garcia hits a three. Gene, we have hit 3 3-pointers in the last 5 quarters.
That's exactly right.
That's
exactly right.
All of them by Nico, as a matter of fact. That is just unheard of for a team that loves to shoot the three.
So Moriarty brings it in to start the quarter. Get it to Herman Archibek, bounces it underneath. Wide open. Joaquin Graham. Boy, beautiful dish off that time by Padilla. By Archibek. Let me correct that. And it comes out on top to Josiah. 14-7. Moriarty right now has doubled the score on Los Alamos. Eddie Gartz is going to bring it across to Kyle Evanhus. Evanhus back to Eddie just to the right of the key. Pulls up on the free throw line. Gets it to Nico Garcia. Garcia over in the corner to Kyle. Skip pass comes across to Josiah. They get it to Nico. Nico pushes his man out of the way. Puts up the shot. Puts it up way too short. Rebound comes down to the Pintos. They get it down in the low corner to Cade Griego on the left side. They'll bring it back out on top. Archibek. Herman was going to hand it over right now as he gets it to Jordan Brown. Brown will get it to Jeremy Quintana. Back to Brown. Brown starts to pull up, gets it to Joaquin Graham. Loses the handle momentarily, but then he scoops it over to Jeremy Padilla. Padilla's shot is off. And Hilltoppers with the rebound. Quickly down the floor they come in the corner. Kyle Evanhus. They dump it underneath to wide open Ben McBride. And he misses an easy turnaround layup. All he had to do was lay it over the front of the rim. And he lays it over too hard. Hits the back of the iron, bounces it around, and comes out. Wide open under the basket. I can't believe this, Mike. And wide open under the basket, Jordan Brown. And he missed the perfect layup. I mean, nobody even close to him. And he blew as easy a layup as you're going to blow, 14-7. Neither one of these teams can make a layup. Bring it out on top of Josiah. 5:53 to go. It's a 14-7 ball game. Moriarty up on Los Alamos. Comes now to Nico Garcia. Garcia over to Josiah. Josiah starts to go down the lane as the ball's stolen away, as it was knocked away from Josiah. And that time by Herman Archibek and then by Cade Griego. Knocked away by Cade Griego. Herman Archibek misses the easy shot. Makes it 14-7.
Oh, my goodness.
Neither one of these teams can buy a basket.
No, nothing. Both teams are ice cold as Nico puts up a three. That's off. And
long pass down the floor, and nobody back there with him.
Wow.
Nobody. Cade Griego. He just snuck down the floor, and Benito Maestas wants a timeout as he finds himself down 16-7. The Hilltoppers have not scored in this quarter, as 3 minutes gone in the quarter, and the Hilltoppers have not yet scored. And it's a 16-7 ball game. Moriarty up on Los Alamos.
It's 16-7. If Moriarty was hitting its wide open shots, it would be more like 30 right now.
Yes, it would.
The Pintos cannot buy a bunch. And they've had every good look you could possibly have. They had a 1 foot uncontested layup that they blew. They had, they've had all kinds of lanes to head straight to the basket. They either blew the layup or lost control of the ball, something like that. Meanwhile, the Toppers on the other end, they are ice cold. Absolutely ice cold. Their shots, and they're not getting bad shots either. There is just no conversion whatsoever by either team.
So the Hilltoppers on the break and coming up the floor and just laying it in is Luke Archuleta. So a fast break by Los Alamos coming down out of the timeout, and they get it to Luke, and Luke just lays it in for 2. Now right down Broadway. Nobody cutting him off. Jeremy Padilla. And Padilla now with 7 points in the ball game and makes it 18-9. Nico Garcia going to get it to Josiah. Josiah almost stepped on. The pass was right down the timeline. Eddie Gartz puts a shot up. Boy, looked like an awfully good block by Herman Archibek, but they're going to call him. That's going to be his first. That's the second team foul.
At the line with 2.
But I thought he did a pretty good job of getting nothing but ball.
That's what it looked like to me, too. That looked like a pretty clean block, but Gartz will go to the free throw line. Under 4.5 remaining here in the first half as Gartz misfires on the first one. Boy, oh boy, this is an incredible ball game. Just
unbelievable.
Nobody can hit anything.
Not a thing. Gart's second shot, this one drops in. Makes it 18-10 and 4:25 to go here in the first half of play. No press being put on by Los Alamos, and Herman Archibek will walk it up for the Pintos. Across the timeline he comes, and the Hilltoppers right now in a man-to-man defense. They're going to get it to Joaquin Graham. Graham will bring it now over to Jordan Brown. Brown out to Herman Archibek, and now the three-point shot. This is off. Rebound comes down to Kyle Ebenhuis. He quickly gets it to Luke Archibek. Archibek waits and then waits for Nico Garcia. Garcia now just to the left of the key, comes to Josiah on the right of the key. Three-point shot is up. Joaquin, the 6'4" junior, high in the air to rip down that rebound on the missed shot. So now Herman Archibek on the dribble, and he's just going to take it to the hole.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice looking shot as he put it up. He had to put it up over Ben McBride, but it looked like he did exactly what he should have done. And it rolled around and came out. Nico Garcia, a long pass down the floor, wide open again. Cade Griego. So Nico Garcia trying to go down the baseline, has his shot blocked. Cade Griego takes off. They baseball it to him. It's now 20 minutes to 10. And another steal. And this time, Powak and Moriarty is just going to slow it up. Jordan Brown coming down, gets it to Joaquin. And Joaquin Graham puts it in a little short, about a 6-foot jumper. That makes it now 22-10.
I'm very surprised Benito Maes is not taking another timeout here. Toppers are completely out of sync.
Yeah, and the ball's on the floor, picked up by Josiah. He's going to take it all the way, puts it up, misses the layup, and the rebound's going to go out of bounds off of Luke Archuleta.
Wow. This is the Toppers are they are completely discombobulated right now. And I can't believe they're not taking a timeout. They need to get on the same page in a hurry. They're down by 12 points. They could be down by 20 right now.
And Herman Archibald misses the shot. They get their own rebound, and a 3-point shot taken by Cade Griego. Long rebound comes back to Herman Archibald. Back over underneath, wide open was Joaquin Graham. He tried to catch it and put it in at the same time. Joaquin, I don't think he has that ability.
He didn't need to do that. He had all the time in the world to put up a good shot.
So Josiah in the corner, Luke Archibald. Archibald is fouled. I thought he was fouled.
I think he was.
But they didn't call anything. Now to Nico. Nico out on the dribbles out near the half-court circle. Minute and a half to go. 22-10. Milwaukee up. Nico 3-point shot. That's good. Nico Garcia, his second 3-pointer of the ball game, and that makes it 22-13. 9-point lead right now for Moriarty. And Luke Archibald. Luke Archibald steals it away, and they're going to bring it down the floor, and they're going to get it to Nico Garcia. And Nico's going to come in from the left side, lay it in with the right hand. And Nico will go to the free throw line as he scores the basket, and he will shoot one. And he will shoot one. And that personal foul went to Jeremy Padilla. That's his first. That is only the third team foul on Moriarty. 2 team fouls have been called on Los Alamos, but that cuts the score to 22-15. And Nico, when he come out of the timeout, he'll shoot one.
Wow. So a couple of nice buckets there by Nico. Huge take to the basket. He will get the free throw on the other end of this, the other side of this timeout, but had a huge three. Just the second 3 of the ball game, just the 4th in the last game and a half for Los Alamos. But the Toppers needed that very, very badly. If he can convert here on the free throw, the Toppers will cut this to 6 with about 70 seconds remaining. But boy, I can't believe what I'm saying. The Toppers were in danger of getting run out of the building.
Yeah, they really were. And Nico Garcia will shoot one out of the timeout. And this one's up and good. So Nico drops that one in, converts a 3-point play. Makes it 22-16. Full court press by Los Alamos. They bring it across right now. And he's going to get it to Jeremy Quintana coming right down the middle of Broadway. He's going to have his shot blocked. I think it's going to go to, well, I thought Kyle Evanhus, but they're going to say no. Luke Archuleta picks up the personal. That's his first. That's the 13th foul. And shooting foul, Herman Archibald at the free throw line. He bounces around and falls out. So he'll shoot one more. 22-16, 57 seconds remaining. So he converts the second one. That makes it a 7-point ball game. 23-16. And right now, Enrique Tafoya trying to pass the ball down the floor. Has it blocked by Cade Griego. Hilltopper will inbound it at midcourt. They're going to get it into Nico Garcia. Garcia is going to bring it back to Josiah. Josiah way out on top, all the way in the corner to Nico. 3-point shot on the way. This is short. Rebound comes down to Kyle Evanhus. Back to Nico. Another 3-pointer by Nico. This is off. And the rebound trying to save it back. Trying to actually bounce it off of one of the Hilltoppers. The Milwaukee, and they bounce it right to Enrique Tafoya, who gets it out to Nico, and Nico puts it in for 2. So Joachim Graham gets it underneath, and he plays it in. He now has 8 points in the ball game. 3-point shot by the Hilltoppers at the buzzer. And, boy, this half has roared by. And right now it's the Hilltoppers find themselves down by 7, 25-18. They were down by 5 at the end of the first quarter. They were outscored by 2 as the Hilltoppers came up with 11, and Moriarty came up with 13. So they outscored them by 2. So their 5-point lead now extends to 7. 25-18 after one half of play here at Griffith Gymnasium. A crazy, crazy ball game. Neither team I can't believe all the shots have been missed by both teams.
Yeah, this is not exactly a shooting clinic that we're watching this evening. Boy, oh boy, the Toppers had plenty of good looks, especially in that first quarter. Interestingly, Moriarty's really been hounding them on the defensive end. They forced a lot of turnovers, forced a lot of kind of wonky shots, and Los Alamos the shots that they did have in that first half, they for the most part they just weren't converting. Finally, Nico Garcia gets a little bit of rhythm there toward the end of the second quarter. He ended up with 8 points in that second quarter. He's got 11 for the ball game. But, Los Alamos for about a 4.5 minute stretch there, Gene couldn't buy a bucket until Nico kind of warmed up a little bit. But the story of this game is just Moriarty has had all the possible wide open shots they could have wanted, and they're getting good look after good look after good look, and frankly, the only reason the Toppers are still in this ball game is because the Pintos just aren't converting.
Yeah, exactly.
So in any event, for the Pintos, Jeremy Padilla, he has a 3. He had a 3-pointer in that first quarter. He has 8 for the ball game, and Joachim Graham, the big guy down low, has 10 so far in this first half. But he missed 3 or 4 very, very makeable shots. Kate Griego had a couple of buckets. The Topper just completely lost track of where he was. He had a couple of really easy conversions. So he had 6 points. And for the Toppers, like I said, Nico has 11. Luke Archuleta has a bucket. Josiah Frescas has a bucket. Bren McBride has a bucket. And that's been about it. They're just outside of Nico's threes, the points have just been hard to come by for Los Alamos. And we'll see what adjustments they can make. But I would suggest that for both teams, they should just forego the locker room chatter. They should just come down here and warm up their shots. I think I don't know what else to do at this point. Los Alamos has had some good looks that have not dropped. Moriarty has had some good looks that have not dropped, but their scheme seems to be, they're on both sides seem to be working just fine. They're just not converting.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, especially Moriarty, they've been really moving the ball well and cutting to the basket. They've had wide open layup after wide open layup and just have not converted at all. As the Pintos, they came up with for their 25 points, they came up with they did shoot a 3, didn't they? Yeah, they shot 2 threes actually. So they had 11 field goals and 2 3-pointers, and they were 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So for their 25 points, and the Hilltoppers They had 7 field goals, 2 3-pointers, both by Nico Garcia, and they were 2 of 3 from the free throw line. So 25-18. And let's see, we have a difference here. I have Joaquin for 8, and you have him for 10.
Yeah, I had him for a couple of buckets in the first quarter. But
Okay.
we'll get it straightened out. But in any event, about halfway through the halftime break here, like we said, this has been a strange boys basketball season by all accounts, and looking at the District 2-4A standings right now, just really everybody's piled up within a game of each other. Espanola and Taos, they are both 3-1. Espanola was up here the other night, kind of did a number on the Hilltoppers, and then Milwaukee Valley the other night. Boy,
I mean, it was unreal.
You talk about a one-man band there. That was amazing.
Yeah, Derek Sanchez had 37 points.
37, and you've never seen Derek. He is smooth as glass. My understanding is he is now in the 1,000-point club.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yes,
and in New Mexico high school basketball, and it's hard to overstate how rare that is to score 1,000 points in a career in high school basketball. First of all, you see people do it in college and things like that. I think Alex Kirk, if I'm not mistaken, is a member of the 1,000-point club at UNM. The topper standout from a few years ago, who's now literally the biggest thing in Japan. But in any event, he was a member of 1,000-point club. But you just don't see that very often in high school basketball. And Derek Sanchez is right there, and boy, oh boy, if that's we've seen him do that more than once. But he was just unreal the other night. He couldn't miss if he wanted to.
No, he really couldn't. And just before that, they played Moriarty, and he had 40 points in that ball game against Moriarty. And so, but the thing that's crazy is that Espanola came in here, and they had won 4 games. They had 4-16 coming in, but they were 2-0 in district play. So 2 of the 4 were district wins, and then they defeated Los Alamos here on an absolute buzzer shot, period. I mean, it was a shot at the buzzer. Another half second, it had been too late. But they won that one by 1 with counting that 3-pointer. So they went to 5-16, and 3 of the victories were for district. And then they took on Taos in Espanola, and Taos defeated them in Espanola. So, and then of course the Milwaukee came in here the other night and just did, like Mike said, did a number on Los Alamos. So right now the Taos has a win on the road, Milwaukee has a win on the road, and of course those are very, very important, because now the situation is Los Alamos has to go to both of those schools and play on the road. They're going to go to Espanola, and they got to go to Milwaukee. So they tough second round for Los Alamos.
Right, and unfortunately, and you don't want to overstate it, but that 3-point buzzer beater against the Sun Devils the other night, that could very well come back and haunt Los Alamos. Alamos, boy, it was. Los Alamos played it just an outstanding ball game most of the way, and then the last about minute and a half of that game, things just completely turned the tide. I mean, Los Alamos should have been able to shut the door a couple of times, weren't able to do it, and then that last that last sequence where they were able to get the the shot off late. That was just bizarre.
Yeah, we had a 1-on-1 that would have put the game away. Missed the front end of the 1-on-1. They just roared. We didn't put anybody on the lane to rebound, so they just grabbed the rebound and zipped it across the timeline. And the young Marcus Martinez was the young man they wanted to shoot, but Hilltoppers were on him right away, so he just flipped it off at the last second. And the young man from Espanola, I mean, he caught it. As soon as he caught it, he fired it. And like I say, he beat the buzzer by about a half a second. But a wild finish. And then a couple of nights later, we had the Hilltopper girls playing Rio Rancho here. And the Hilltoppers were down by 2. And the Hilltoppers called a timeout with 8 seconds to go. And I said, what we need is an Espanola finish during the timeout. And we came out of the timeout and they got the ball to Carly Holland, and she let it go at the buzzer, and she canned it, and we beat Rio Rancho by 1. So we did have an Espanola finish.
Yes, we did. So, and Topper girls, meanwhile, sitting in very, very good position in their district race as we get this second half started here. Los Alamos inbounds it, and let's see what they can do. Let's see what adjustments they want to make here.
So Josiah is going to get it to Ben McBride, 15-footer. Nice looking 15. Wow. Nice looking 15-foot jump shot by Ben McBride. Boy, that was pretty. 25-20 right now. The Hilltoppers now cut the lead to 5. And so they're going to bring it now over to Herman Archibek. Over to Jeremy Quintana, Jeremy Padilla. Padilla over on the left side, so they're going to rotate it back out on top. So the Hilltoppers right now in a matchup zone, and the ball will come over to Jordan Brown. Brown dribbles out near the half-court circle. They're having a lot of trouble with that zone. The Hilltoppers have started off in a man-to-man. Moriarty didn't have much trouble dismantling that. So now they come to Jordan Brown. So right now everything's outside the three-point line. They're going to get it to Herman Archibek. Archibek out now to Jordan, to Jeremy Padilla. His three-point shot is off. Rebound comes down to Josiah Frescas. He's going to take it all the way, and at the last second, dish it off to Nico Garcia. And Nico puts it up and in for 2, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Nice looking break there by Los Alamos. And Nico right out in front, kind of circling around from the right side and able to take it in and get the bucket as he converts the free throw. 25-23. That foul, by the way, on Matthew Romero. That was his first for the Pintos.
So they underneath wide open again. Nobody minding the score. And Joaquin Graham. And he just lays it in for 2. 27-23. And now the Nico trying to throw it into the corner to Ethan Mondragon. Actually throws it into the student section. I don't know what all that was about. Perfect pass into the student section.
Yeah, the guy in the front row caught it, no problem. He was wide open.
27-23. Comes over now to Jordan Brown. Brown is going to bring it back out to Herman Archibek. Archibek signaling number 2, and so a three-point shot is going to be off. Rebound is going to come right back down to Jeremy Padilla. He's the young man who put up the 3. They get it to Jordan Brown out on top. Now they'll get it to Archibek. Herman puts the ball on the floor over now to Jeremy Padilla. Back out to Jordan Brown. Back to Padilla. Underneath to Joaquin. Joaquin dribbles, gets it, and they try to get it to Joaquin. Joaquin under the basket is knocked away from him. And so it'll be inbounded by Moriarty under their own basket near the corner on the left side. They just bring it all the way out on top. Archibek on the dribble. Now Herman's going to bring it over to Jordan Brown. Brown will still on the dribble. They're going to bring it back Underneath it goes to Joaquin out on top. In the corner, Jordan Brown, 3-point shot. That's off. That's what they wanted. And whoa.
Wow.
That's Jakeem Graham came down with a rebound. Nico reached over from behind, knocked it out of bounds, and they give the ball to the Hilltoppers.
I don't know about that one.
Not at all. So Hilltoppers are still in the backcourt. They finally bring it across. They're going to get it to Nico. 3-point shot. That's good. And so that's the third 3-pointer for Nico. And the Hilltoppers now have cut this to a 1-point ball game, 27-26. Comes now to Jordan Brown. Brown picks up his dribble. Over now to Jeremy Padilla. Back to Archibek. Herman back to Padilla. Down low to Joaquin. Underneath, and we're going to have a personal foul as Jordan, as Matt Romero actually hits the floor. And so he'll come out of the ball game right now. But the personal foul went that time to Josiah Frescas, his first. That's the first team foul of this half, and the shot was then converted. Who made that basket?
That was Herman Archibek. A nice jump shot. 29-26 halfway through the third quarter. Wondergun in all kinds of trouble down there. He goes to the floor. Unbelievable. The Toppers are awarded a timeout. No clear possession.
None.
Oh, my goodness.
Both players laying on the floor. Both players with both hands on the ball. And a tug of war. And Benito jumps up and hollers timeout. And they give him the timeout.
Boy, and I know that benefits the Toppers, but that fries me. That just absolutely fries me. That is not. There should be no timeout awarded in that situation ever, and that's become a standard thing now.
Yeah, it's whichever coach jumps up and hollers timeout, and that's if you want to trade a timeout for a possession. I don't know.
I don't know in this situation that possession's so important that you need to burn a timeout for it.
So the shot is up by Nico Garcia. This one is off. Rebound comes down to the Pintos. Quickly up the floor comes Archibek. He's going to back out near the half-court circle. Comes over to Jeremy Padilla. Underneath to Joaquin has his shot blocked by Ben McBride. Comes down to Nico Garcia. Up to Josiah Frescas. Frescas skip pass across. Kyle Evans, whose 3-point shot rims around and comes off. And we're going to have I think it's going to be a held ball as Ben McBride came over down over the back of Joaquin Graham. But they're just going to call it a held ball. So the ball will go to Moriarty. 3:09 to go. Moriarty still up by 3 in this ball game. Out on top. They bring it now to Michael McGough, who has just checked in. They get it underneath, and taking it to the hole is Jeremy Padilla, and he's going to go to the free throw line. And that personal foul is going to go to Kyle Evanhoose, and that'll be Evanhoose's first personal. That is only the second team foul. And not a lot of fouls. There were 3 fouls called on Moriarty in the first half, and 3 on Los Alamos, and right now there's 1 on Moriarty, 2 on Los Alamos. And at the free throw line and converting the first was Jeremy Padilla. And Padilla puts in the first, misses the second. And then on the rebound, we have a personal foul is going to go, and that was going to go to Michael McGough. They have a steal, have a 2-on-1, and is almost stolen away by Jeremy Frescas, by Josiah Frescas, and I can't believe he didn't hang on.
And
So
I think and Frescas went down awkwardly.
Yeah, he really did.
He went up to get the ball and kind of slipped and fell. And we have a timeout on the floor, an official's timeout, and I think they're looking at they're going to look at Josiah. We have about 8 toppers on the floor right now. Somebody's going to come out of the ball game.
So they leave Josiah in. I don't understand.
I thought he had to come out if they stopped the play for him. But
yes. 32-26, Ben McBride, another little short jumper. This is off. Rebound comes down to Joaquin Graham. Graham up to Herman Archibek. Archibek with 2:15 to go. Third quarter, 6-point lead for both. Wide open, and I mean wide open on a great pass that time from Herman Archibek to a wide open Jeremy Padilla under the basket.
Topper defense completely asleep on that possession. That was a huge possession.
And now the ball pass is stolen away. They're going to get it up to Herman Archibek underneath. And so going up and faking, first of all, he pumped once, then he went up. Then McBride says, I just held my arms straight up in the air. The official doesn't agree, and he's going to put Jeremy Padilla on the free throw line to shoot 2. And that's going to be McBride's first personal.
That was a little bit of an acting job there by Padilla to get the foul. That was the Toppers. The last 3 possessions for the Toppers have been awful. 2 really bad turnovers, a bad shot. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, really. Did he make both of them?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. So Jeremy Padilla drops them both in, makes it now an 11-point ball game, 37-26 with 1:42 to go. Josiah Frescas down the middle of the
my
lane,
goodness.
puts up a wild Michael Jordan shot, rolls around the rim, and then finally drops off. And then coming down the floor, Herman Archibek and dribbles it wide open, standing all by himself under the basket. Joaquin Graham, and Graham just lays it in for 2. And now Nico Garcia answers with a 3-pointer. That makes it 39-29, a 10-point lead for Moriarty. And we have 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. So Archibek on the dribble. They're going to bring it over now to Jordan Brown. Brown will dribble out to the top of the key. He will bring it over now to Michael McGough, back to Archibek. And they may be decided to go for 1. They get it underneath to a, well, that was what you call luck. They got a pass to Joaquin Graham, and Graham went up in the air. He was off balance, did a spin in the air, dropped the ball down to Jeremy Padilla, and then Padilla lays it in for 2. Makes it 41-29. Eddie Gart starts to go up, and he gets it underneath to this time to Luke Archuleta, and Archuleta puts it in for 2. Makes it a 10-point ball game once again with 15 seconds to go. And Marcus Ortiz now hollering all kinds of instructions to his team. Herman Archibek on the dribble with 5 seconds to go in the corner. Somebody's going to have to shoot. They finally do put it up. And at the buzzer, that is Michael McGough. His shot is off. So after 3 quarters of play, it is now a 41-31 ball game. And interestingly enough, Mike, the Hilltoppers, they trailed by 5, then they trailed by 7. Now they trail by 10. So they've been outscored every quarter. And the Hilltoppers came up with 13 in that third quarter and 16 for the Fighting Pintos.
And 9 of those 16 coming from Jeremy Padilla. A huge quarter for him for the Pintos. And a couple of buckets by Joaquin Graham. Actually, give a little bit of credit to Ben McBride here. He's given up a lot of weight and a lot of size against Joaquin, but has stopped him, made a couple of really, really big stops in this ball game against Joaquin, who looked like he was going for a couple of easy buckets. A block there in that third quarter, and then made him change a couple of shots as well. So Ben McBride really playing tonight in place of the injured Rick Valdez, doing a pretty good job on the defensive end against a big, strong kid. But boy, if you had asked me before the game what the score would be at the end of three quarters, I would not say Moriarty plus 10. No. I thought the Toppers had a pretty good shot to put this ball game away early coming in, but it's been tough. It has been tough, and we got a little bit of a delay here to start this fourth quarter. Toppers will inbound, by the way, and I'm not sure what the delay is.
Yeah, so it's a 41-31. It's a 10-point lead right now for Moriarty after three quarters. They've led the entire ball game. They led 12-7 at the end of the third quarter, 25-18 at the end of the half. The end of the third quarter right now is 41-31. Now they're checking something in the book, and I'm not exactly sure what it is they're checking, but anyway. So they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so they coming up with let's see, that's 16 points for Moriarty in that third quarter. But so now they're checking the book. So the situation right now, Mike, is that tomorrow the Hilltopper boys will entertain Rio Rancho here tomorrow night. We won't be able to do that ball game, but we will be back here at Griffith Gymnasium on Monday night when the Hilltopper girls will take on the St. Pius, an old rival. So the St. Pius Lady Sartans will come to Griffith Gymnasium on Monday night. We'll do that ball game. Then a week from tonight, on Hilltopper girls will go to Espanola and for a big game down in Espanola, and then the Hilltopper boys on a week from tomorrow the boys will go to Espanola, and we should be able to cover all three of those games. So
yeah, a whole bunch of big contests coming up here, and both teams have actually kind of left the floor right now. I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't see any particularly huge discretion. The score is right. The timeouts are right. I believe the fouls are correct. I'm not sure what they're double checking here. But this is quite the delay. When we do get going, the Toppers will inbound the ball down by 10. And it's going to be interesting to see what Marcus Ortiz, the Moriarty coach, wants to do. Does he want to sit on this lead and finally break into the W column in district? The Pintos 0-4 in district play, and frankly, none of those four losses were particularly close.
No, they weren't.
And we really thought Los Alamos wasn't going to have that big of a problem with Moriarty, but I mean,
they've changed the score
40-31.
Yeah, 40. So it went from 41 to 30, 40 to 31, 41 to 31, now to 40 to 31. So they've taken a point away from Moriarty. Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I came up with 15 points.
Well, okay, maybe that was correct. But okay, so 9 point bulge here for Moriarty.
So the shot is off by Nico Garcia as the ball goes back into the backcourt. Nico chases it down, and it's not a backcourt violation because it was knocked into the backcourt in the rebound battle.
That should have been icing, Gene.
Yes, it should have. So Josiah Gutierrez, Josiah puts his shot up, rebound comes down right now to Luke Archuleta, and Archuleta puts it in for 2, makes it a 7-point ball game. Herman Archibek bringing it up. He's going to bring it over now to Jeremy Padilla. Archibek all over him. Inside it comes to Joaquin underneath. They're going to bounce it. 3-point shot. Jordan Brown. That one rims around and comes off. Joaquin Graham gets the rebound, brings it back out on top. And they get it over to Jeremy Padilla. He starts to shoot the three, decides not to, rotates it to the other side to Archibek. Herman puts the ball on the floor. Back to Jeremy Padilla. Now they'll go down to the left wing. And now they'll bring it back out on top. So they're just working around that 3-point line. And so they get it to Jordan Brown. Now over to Herman Archibek. Archibek looking inside. Hilltopper is still in that matchup zone. And Moriarty in no hurry whatsoever to shoot right now.
Well, they burned about a minute already off the clock on this really possession.
And so they kind of sitting on it in a way. And so they're going to bring it now over to Jordan Brown. We have 2 minutes gone here in this quarter. And it's going to come now to Herman Archibek. Archibek still on the dribble. Underneath, and they're going to get it to Joaquin and Joaquin, as though they got the pass underneath to Jeremy Padilla across the lane. It went to Graham, and Graham lays it in for two.
Boy, and that's the exact possession that Moriarty needed. They burned about a minute and a half and got the bucket on the other side. Quick bucket underneath the basket to Foya, and we got a timeout here. But a nice pass into Tafoy. I'm not sure who that was up front, but that was a nice pass.
Yes, it really was. So 42 now to 35, a 7-point differential here, and a full timeout taken by Los Alamos. So let's see, they should have two left, one full and one 30. Moriarty has right now, I think they've got, let's see, well, they have 4 timeouts anyway. So not a real big factor here, but anyway.
Well, interesting that it was Los Alamos took that timeout. Coming on, they're down to 2. Still plenty of time left. This isn't like a 10-15 point deficit. They're looking 7. That's only really 2-3 possessions. So, but Los Alamos obviously feeling like they need to conserve some clock. 5:39, and the Toppers look like they're going to come out in full court press mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. So so right now they're in a man-to-man press. So they get it inside to Herman Archibek. Archibek coming up the floor. They're still in the backcourt. They finally bring it across to Herman Archibek, and now they've got all kinds of numbers. They don't take advantage. And so Jeremy Padilla puts up the 3-point shot. That's off. And they're going to say it was off of Josiah Frescas, but it was definitely off of Jordan Brown. No two ways about it.
No, that should have been an easy call. The official was right there. I don't know what he saw.
Yeah, I don't either. Going behind his back, Herman Archibek picks up his dribble, gets it, and we have a traveling violation. As right now, Enrique Tafoya is really he's putting a lot of pressure on Archibek. Full court press by Moriarty at this point. They bring it up to Eddie Gartz. Gartz underneath to. This time to Luke Archuleta. Archuleta over to Nico. Now to Josiah wants the 3-point shot, and he cans it. Josiah Frescas gets his first 3-pointer of the ball game. Makes it a 4-point ball game. 42-38. They're going to bring it now to Jordan Brown. Brown tries to go up with a left-handed shot. He was way off balance. He didn't have a chance. Hilltoppers on the run once again. Nico Garcia from way out. And that's when his off rebound comes down to Frescas. Josiah will get it to Nico. Back to Josiah. Josiah shoots the 3. Long rebound, and that one's going to come down to Jordan Brown. And we're going to reach and foul, and that's going to go to Eddie Gartz.
And that was the right call. Gartz trying to get the ball, but Actually ended up getting mostly the arm of Herman Archibald on that rebound. That is the correct call. 4:20 remaining. I am not a fan of that long-range three-point shot. Do we have a 5-second call here? Or do we have a timeout?
There must be a timeout. 30-second timeout taken by Marcos Ortiz. So he now has 3 left.
But the Toppers forced up a long three-pointer there. There's plenty of time. This is not a huge deficit. I think they just kind of got into a little three-point happy there. They didn't need that shot right there.
No, they really did not. So the Hilltoppers have come up with 6 points. Let's see right now, 7 points so far in this quarter. Moriarty has scored 2 in the quarter.
No, this is going to be an interesting possession here for the Pintos.
Yeah, full court press by the Hilltoppers. They're going to bounce it inside, stolen away by Frescas. Frescas still on a dribble. He's going to dribble out to the half court. Going to bring it over to Nico Garcia, back to Josiah. Josiah just to the right of the key, trying to get it to Nico Garcia, cutting down the lane, overthrows him. 4:06 to go. 4-point lead for Moriarty. So the Hilltoppers. And so the good press being put on by Los Alamos, a man-to-man press, and Moriarty couldn't get the ball inside, and they end up actually throwing it out of bounds to nobody. So it'll be inbounded under the right where they threw it in from. And since nobody touched it, it'll be under the Hilltopper basket. They're going to bring it inside now to Luke Archuleta, over to Eddie Gartz, over to Nico in the corner. Garcia puts it on up to Josiah Frescas. He's way out there, and he likes to shoot from there. He's going to take it to the hole. They dish it over now to Enrique Tafoya, over to Nico Garcia. 3:45 to go. They'll get it to Josiah. Josiah back to Nico. Nico back to Josiah. Skip pass across to Eddie Gartz. He starts to go with a 3, decides not to. Has the ball stolen away. So they pick his pocket. And so now we have turned out that Jeremy Padilla, I think it was Jeremy Padilla, after he stole the ball away, he got down the floor, picked up his dribble, and then he was immediately double teamed. He got caught in a trap, and so Marcos Ortiz jumps up right away and calls a quick timeout. So he takes a full. So Marcus, I do believe he has 2 timeouts left, which he should have a full and a 30. And that 42-38, but the Hilltoppers trying to move the ball, but I don't know, it acts like everybody acts like they're trying to get home for 3. They're not really looking under the basket at all.
No, and there's plenty of time. The Toppers do not need to force up any shots right now. But that last possession, you saw that was basically a 2-man game, Nico and Josiah, and they were clearly looking for an opening to put up a 3. And you made the comment, Josiah's over here by the volleyball 10-foot line. That doesn't mean he's not going to shoot from there.
No.
That doesn't even a little bit mean he's not going to shoot.
Yeah, that 10-foot line means it's 10 feet from the timeline. So anyway, so it'll be inbounded by Moriarty and in the front court. They're going to get it now, and we have Josiah Frescas is all. I mean, he is only going to call a 5-second violation. Josiah Frescas, he had his hands all over Cade Griego, and they're going to call Cade Griego for a 5-second dribbling violation. 42-38. Brings it now to Nico Garcia. Nico over to Josiah. Back to Nico. Back to Josiah. Now goes Josiah. There's that long shot. And the ball is going to be picked. The rebound comes to Nico Garcia. Frescas takes it in. gets the pass and lays it in. So Jaya Freskis with 2 more. And now we have a full court press with 2:53 to go. It's a 2-point ball game. And so now I'm not sure what's happening. Marco's not happy with something. And now the 2 officials on the floor are discussing something. I'm not sure what they're discussing. Marco's very upset about something.
So they're going to call Fresquez with a foul on the floor. I think Marcus Ortiz was lobbying for an intentional foul. I didn't see that. There was definitely a lot of contact down there.
Technical foul charge to Kyle Evans.
Oh boy, and we have just had a technical foul issued to Kyle Evanhus of Los Alamos. I have no idea what for.
And Kyle doesn't know what it's for either.
Kyle does, yeah. Kyle is as surprised as anybody.
Jeremy Padilla shooting the 2-shot technical, and he misses the first. He'll shoot one more, and it'll be out of bounds at midcourt. The Pinto. Well, I'm not sure what. Now they're still discussing some things at the scorer's table. It's 42-40. 2:53 remains. Milwaukee up by 2 here against Los Alamos. And long discussion again. Marcos Ortiz asking for some clarification. And so now they're they're talking to Maury. So,
I don't know what Maury's going to do about it.
No, not a thing.
What is he going to announce? Everybody to drive safely? You know, I don't know if.
So the official now has indicated to let him shoot the free throw. Now they come back and have another long discussion with Jim Starrett. And so now Jeremy Padilla comes over, discusses things with Marcos Ortiz. The officials coming back once again. And so he missed the first. So let's see. I don't know what they're discussing.
I don't know what this discussion is about. He clearly missed the first. Was he not supposed to shoot it or something? I don't know.
Puts the second one in, and now Moriarty will get the ball out of bounds. So Jeremy goes 1 for 2 on the technicals. And Kyle Evans, who ends up with a technical foul. So that is going to be his second personal. That is the 16th foul on Los Alamos.
And Benito is asking for, I think, clarification as well. I didn't see anything crazy. My only guess is maybe Kyle said something, and Kyle came over to the bench, and he was kind of holding his arm, like somebody maybe hit him or something. And if that's the case, and he said, "Oh gosh, that hurt," maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, really.
I am very upset that occurred.
This is really was having a lot of trouble bringing it in. They can't get it in, and they lose it out of bounds. As they could have bounced it into the backcourt. They had a man wide open in the backcourt, but they tried to bring it into the front court to Cade Griego. Griego couldn't hang on, loses it out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers now down by 3, 43-40. It's going to come over to Kyle Evanhus. And from way downtown, and I mean way downtown, Nico Garcia. Garcia goes up, gets his own rebound, goes up, misses, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Wow, Garcia put up a long 3-pointer, but chased down his own rebound. And it looked like Moriarty looked like it had a beat on the rebound, but Nico just kind of out-hustled him and was able to go to the hole and pick up the foul. He puts in the first free throws, a 2-point ball game, 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, so he'll shoot one more. He can cut it to 1. 2:34 remains. So Nico ready for shot number 2, and this one is going to also This full court press by Los Alamos. Moriarty having a heck of a time with the press. They finally do get it up the floor to Cade Griego, up to Joaquin Graham. Cade Griego gets the rebound, and we're going to have another discussion with the officials. I'm not sure what they're going to give the ball to Los Alamos. So
why did that need to be discussion? It was either a foul or out of bounds, and the official he was conversing with wasn't even close to the play.
No, he had no clue. So the ball is on the floor, and so they get it now right now over to Enrique Tafoya, and the Hilltoppers now go into four corners, trailing by one. So the Hilltoppers down by one, 42-43, and they're in four corners. 2 minutes to go.
Oh boy, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I really don't either. And so
Toppers are completely content right now are they playing for the last shot?
Yeah, that's what they might be. And Josiah Frescas out there, and Nico Garcia clear out at half court. And they just keep passing it back and forth. Now the three-point shot put up by Nico. Rebound comes down to Kyle Evans, over to Josiah Frescas. Frescas goes in, and his shot is rejected, and I mean rejected, boy, by Jeremy Padilla.
They are going to call Padilla with a foul.
Oh, that was
oh my goodness!
That was a fantastic block.
That was a clean as a whistle block, but they're going to give the foul to Padilla. That is his second to the ball game. Wow!
And Josiah misses the first free throw. And what's interesting now, Moriarty could come down and they could decide to go for the last shot if Josiah ties this up.
Well, Moriarty's having all kinds of trouble with the pressure.
Well, they really have. Josiah puts that one in. And so now it's a 43-43 ball game, and Moriarty just flat throws it away. That man-to-man press, Moriarty could not handle it. 43-43, minute 15 to go. And right now, Nico and Josiah clear out at half court. Josiah is going to take it all the way in. He's going to dish it off to Enrique Tafoya. Tafoya puts it up. Shot is off. Rebounds on the floor. Josiah Frescas gets a three-pointer and drops it in. Josiah Frescas with the three-point shot makes it 46-43. And 52 seconds remaining. But the Hilltoppers, they missed a shot. They missed a shot. And Moriarty could not get the rebound. They knocked it out to Josiah Frescas just to the right of the key. And he put up the three-point shot, and the Hilltoppers take their first lead in this ball game, as far as I know, 46-43.
Yes, this is the first Topper lead of the ball game. Moriarty takes a timeout here. They're down to one. Los Alamos has two. Unbelievable. And boy, oh boy. And we can go back to the last game. Actually, last couple of games, Josiah just has not been able to convert from three-point land, but knocks in two huge three-pointers here in the fourth quarter. Toppers up by 3. Moriarty obviously talking about what they want to do here. I don't know if they want to take the last shot or what they want to do, but
it'll be interesting. They're down by 3, so we'll see what Marcos Ortiz wants to come up with.
They don't absolutely have to take a 3 here. They can score a quick 2 and maybe try to foul. There's still almost a minute left.
They're going to throw it in under the Moriarty basket. And they'll hand the ball over to Jeremy Padilla. And there's 52 seconds to go. So, like Mike says, they can easily just score a 2. They bring it out on top to Herman Archibald. Called on the Hilltoppers. 28.5 seconds remaining, a 5-point ball game. And so Enrique Tafoya is going to pick up the personal. That's And that's going to be, that is the 7th team foul. So it'll be a 1-and-1 right now for Jeremy Padilla. He was there shooting the technicals, and he was 1 for 2 for the technicals. Shoot a 1-and-1, misses the 1-and-1, and the ball is going to go out of bounds off of Jordan Brown of Moriarty. So a 5-point lead for Los Alamos, 28 seconds to go, and the Moriarty's problem is they only have four team fouls. So if they want to put Los Alamos on the free throw line, which it doesn't look like they're going to bother doing, they would have to foul 3 times to get them onto the free throw line.
And with 15 seconds left, and I don't even know if they called a foul there. They may have called a timeout. Toppers call a timeout with 15 seconds remaining. Yeah, there's just not enough time for Moriarty to do anything.
No, there really isn't. And if they were going to foul, they were going to have to foul immediately, and then foul immediately, and then foul immediately, if they wanted to put Los Alamos on the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah,
and that's one of the problems when you play a pretty clean game and don't foul very much. And when you get down to the end of the game like this, then all of a sudden you got to start piling up the fouls to get the other team to the free throw line. Unless you want to commit an intentional foul.
Yeah, and you
of course,
absolutely,
that doesn't do you any good.
It does not do you a whole lot of good.
No.
But, wow. So, barring disaster here, Los Alamos will escape with a victory over Moriarty. 15 seconds remaining.
Well, the difference was that press. Moriarty just could not handle the man-to-man press, and that's all there was to it.
Yeah, the Toppers started ratcheted that up here at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Moriarty acted like they'd never seen it before.
Yeah, like they didn't even know what to do. Whoever was throwing the ball in was having a heck of a time. Nobody was getting open. So the Hilltoppers are going to bring it out to Nico Garcia. And Garcia is going to get it to Josiah Frescas with 10 seconds to go. Now they foul him. What's the point?
There's no point. There's under 10 seconds remaining.
9 seconds to go. And
they still need to foul twice more. And that's just to get Los Alamos to the free throw line.
Yeah, why did these coaches even bother to do that? I mean, it's like, you see these coaches deliberately foul when their team is behind by 20 points. And it's, 15 seconds to go, and they have them deliberately foul. So they're chasing Josiah all over the floor, trying to foul him. They grab him. And so with 1.8 seconds remaining, that's going to be the 6th team foul. I mean, figure that one out.
Yeah. So
I'll never understand that. Why are you running all over the floor chasing somebody when it's not going to do you a bit of good? So the Hilltoppers win at 48-43, and this was a game that Moriarty actually should have won, but the Hilltoppers do pull it out 48-43 in the final couple minutes of play as the Hilltoppers came up with 17 points in that final quarter and held Pewaukee to 13. And, of course, held them to 3, I'm sorry. So Moriarty only able to score 3 points in that fourth quarter. The Hilltoppers put in, 17. So the Hilltoppers were down by 10. Then they changed the score, put them down by 9, and then the Hilltoppers came on, put on that press. Moriarty could not handle the press, and that is the story of this ball game. So
absolutely. But Toppers, boy, oh boy, I don't think they were expecting a battle tonight, and Moriarty gave them just about everything they could handle. And they were able to get the press on. Moriarty did not respond well to the press in that 4th quarter. Los Alamos forced a gaggle of turnovers. got the shots when they needed to after just being ice cold for 3 quarters. Got the shots, a couple of 3-pointers by Josiah Fresquez, who has been just, he is Antarctic cold from 3-point range in the last 3 ball games. Finally hit a couple of huge 3-pointers in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's the only 2 he's hitting in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he has really, really struggled. Nico Garcia hit a couple of 3s in the 3rd. But Los Alamos, who lives and dies by the 3, they've not been able to get on track. They did hit a couple when they needed to, but tough ball game. Toppers escaped with a victory, but like you said, Gene, had Moriarty hit a quarter of the open shots that they had that they blew over the course of this ball game, they would have won this game going away.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the Topper girls will travel to Moriarty tomorrow and take on the Moriarty girls. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that ball game turns out. We're not going to do that ball game. The Hilltoppers overwhelmed Moriarty here at Griffith Gymnasium when they were ahead by 35 at half, and went into a mercy rule as soon as we started the second half. But and then the Topper boys will entertain Rio Rancho tomorrow evening here at Griffith Gymnasium. Our next broadcast will be Monday night when the St. Pius Lady Sartans come to Griffith Gymnasium to take on the girls, and that should be a good one. And that ball game, by the way, is at 6:00. So make a note. So if you're planning on coming to watch the girls play St. Pius, it's a 6:00 start, approximately.
You never know.
6:00 could be 7:00.
It very easily could be 7:00. But Los Alamos St. Pius, in girls anything, that is always a treat.
Oh yes, it is.
Oh boy. You talk about, we have several rivalries. Los Alamos does on the girls' side, and all of them are very respectful, with one exception. That one exception is the St. Pius Sartans. Those teams just do not like each other, and so that'll be an interesting ball game. St. Pius having a heck of a season too.
Yes, they are.
Both teams, that would be a huge feather in their cap if they could come away Monday with a victory. For the Los Alamos girls, by the way, they have a big game tomorrow against Moriarty, as you said. If the Toppers pull that one out, and the interesting thing is, Los Alamos blew Moriarty out of the gym here in their first meeting. But you look at what else Moriarty has done in the district.
Yes.
They have pretty well handled everybody else. I mean, that was.
Yeah, they beat everybody else but us.
Yeah, and comfortably.
Yes.
And Moriarty just, Los Alamos just completely overwhelmed Moriarty. But the situation there, should the Los Alamos prevail tomorrow night, they don't mathematically win the district, but it's darn near impossible for anybody to catch them at that point.
Yeah, they would be 5-0, and
Moriarty would have to win out. Los Alamos would have to lose out against teams that, frankly, have not given them that much trouble, and that's that's Moriarty's only route left. But Los Alamos, they're down to one victory, and they can put the district away. But tomorrow night, if they can win that one, that will pretty much do it.
Yeah, I think so. So you want to run over the Topper scoring real fast?
Sure thing. So for the Toppers tonight, they were led by Nico Garcia. He came up big when they needed him to. 22 points, 11 in each half, and 4 3-pointers for Nico, and boy, did the Toppers need those. 11 points for Josiah Fresquez. Very, very quiet first half. Came on in the second half hit 2 big 3-pointers in that fourth quarter. He finishes with 11. Luke Archuleta had 6 and 4 points each for Enrique Tavoya and Ben McBride.
So Mike, a little frog in his throat there.
A little bit. Jeremy Padilla, 18 points. Nice game for Jeremy. For Moriarty, and Jakeem Graham with 16 points for the Pintos.
So that'll do it. So we'll be back on the air on Monday night. Hilltopper girls going up against the St. Pius Lady Sartans. The nominal start time is 6 o'clock. And so make a note. So anyway, final score here is the Hilltoppers come from behind, and I mean come from behind to win it by 5, 48-43. And so the Hilltoppers now, the Hilltoppers will now go to 7, and the Hilltoppers now go to 9. Well, let's see, 9 and 13, and right now they're 3 and 2 in district play, and Moriarty drops to 8 and drops to 7 and 16. They are 0 and 5 in district play. So anyway, so they come in here at 0 and 4 and almost walked away with this ball game. So that'll do it for us. So have a great weekend, everybody, and you can make it even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And Sweetie Pie, I love you, honey. Miss you an awful lot. Bye-bye, everybody.